Welcome to Love and Lies Audio, where we tell the untold tales of love, lies, and life after betrayal. Every heartbreak has a voice, and this is theirs. I never thought a weekend in the attic could change everything. What I had planned as a quiet, uneventful few hours, sorting through old boxes, dusting off decades of memories, turned into a revelation that would shatter my understanding of life, marriage, and even myself. Claire and I had a marriage many would envy. Comfortable, predictable, seemingly perfect. We had routines, a home full of small, shared rituals, and friends who celebrated our life together. But beneath the surface, I realized I had known almost nothing. The first letter I found was immediately suspicious. Elegant handwriting, precise strokes. It wasn't Claire's. I assumed it was just an old correspondence from her college days, but as I unfolded it, my stomach twisted. "I can't stop thinking about you." My hands shook. I froze. A fleeting thought told me to discard it, to tell myself I was imagining things, but I couldn't stop. I read every word. The letter was intimate, intensely personal, and not addressed to me. Over the next few hours, I discovered more, stacked, tied with a faded ribbon, hidden behind a false panel in the attic. Each letter peeled back layers of a life I hadn't known existed. The more I read, the angrier I became, not only at Claire, but at myself for being blind. These letters weren't just about romance. They hinted at manipulation. Claire had subtly influenced friends, colleagues, even my own family, isolating me, weakening my trust in the people around me, all while maintaining the illusion of a perfect marriage. It wasn't a fling. It was a carefully constructed parallel life. I decided I needed proof. Letters alone weren't enough, but they contained clues, dates, locations, references to people and photos. I started investigating, discreetly. Each step was meticulous. Each clue pieced together the puzzle of her double life. I found photographs hidden in her old desk drawer, receipts from trips she never mentioned, and emails that confirmed meetings with people she had said she didn't see anymore. I realized the betrayal wasn't a single moment. It was years of careful deceit. While I collected evidence, I lived a careful double life myself. Smiling at dinner, keeping conversations light, pretending ignorance, all while documenting everything in a binder I labeled evidence. I checked names, traced meetings, and cross-referenced alibis. I became quiet, observant, and strategic. The betrayal gnawed at me, but it also sparked a determination I had never known. I didn't want anger or humiliation. I wanted control, clarity, and ultimately freedom. The letters, once instruments of pain, became tools for justice, for understanding, for reclaiming my life. Weeks passed. Each time Claire mentioned a trivial detail of her routine, I observed silently, noting inconsistencies, building a mental map of her secret network. I remembered our life together, the laughter, late-night talks, intimacy, and felt a flicker of grief. But that grief fueled me. It reminded me of my resilience, my capacity to survive, and eventually to thrive. One night, I placed the evidence binder on the dining table. Claire's reaction was priceless. Shock, fear, desperation, a mirror of the very betrayal she had inflicted on me. She tried denial, excuses, even tears, but the evidence spoke louder than her words. Photographs, letters, dates, witness statements, all undeniable. Confrontation wasn't my goal. Control was. Freedom, understanding, the satisfaction of knowing the truth. And in that I found a strange peace. My marriage, as I had believed it, was over, but the illusion shattered, the truth liberated me. Over the next months, I transformed my life. I resumed old passions, traveled to places I had only dreamed of, reconnected with old friends, and embraced new relationships. I laughed freely, loved cautiously, and succeeded beyond measure. Each day I felt stronger. Each new experience, each joy, became a silent dagger in the shadow of her deceit. Claire occasionally appeared in my social circles, hoping to provoke or regain control, but I remained composed, polite, distant, untouchable. My calm became the ultimate revenge. I lived my life in ways she could never anticipate, never manipulate, never touch. Eventually, she attempted reconciliation. Her voice trembled, her eyes wide with hope. She tried to weave a narrative of forgiveness and renewal. I listened, quietly, patiently, and then said, "I am living the life I deserve. You are not a part of it." The realization hit her. She had lost me forever. No apologies, no tears, no promises could bridge the chasm. I had moved beyond her control. I had become untouchable. In the months that followed, I continued to grow, thrive, and explore life on my terms. The memory of betrayal was no longer poison, it was fuel. The greatest revenge isn't loud, dramatic, or cruel. It is quiet, subtle, and unassailable. It is in thriving while they watch helplessly from the shadows. I am free. I am whole. I am untouchable. And she is nothing more than a memory, a lesson, a shadow of the life I once shared but no longer need. You stayed until the end, and that matters. If you faced loyalty, betrayal, or strength others can't imagine, share your journey below. Subscribe to Love and Lies Audio because the loudest victories often come from the quietest struggles.